later, so you could check that out. 85 plus payment gateways. So as Magento pushes forward and really gets into local markets, this is something that we expected to see and something that has happened and transpired. There's quite a bit of proliferation in the market with payment gateways, and I would not be surprised if this number is doubled by this time next year. Hopefully there's going to be some consolidation at some point, but the reality is that each market is very, very different, and there have been quite a few contributions, both commercially and on an open source level, by us, by the community, by our partners, and that's a very, very important element to really pushing Magento forward. The community is definitely talking, and I think the forum posts give us a good picture of that. 129,000 forum posts. There continues to be a thriving community. I think we've done an okay job in 2008. We'd like to do a better job in 2009. I know Rico's done a tremendous job here in the German market, and it actually has set a standard for us in terms of how to manage a community. So this is an interesting number that I had one of our developers pull up, and it talks about just what an effort this has been for us. So today, without including any of the third-party libraries, the Zen framework, any JavaScript libraries, etc., Magento has over 210,000 lines of code. It would take one person 54 years to write this. So if there's any takers in the crowd, we'd love you to join us. But the reality is that this is a massive undertaking, something that we didn't know when we got into it, as often these projects go. But it just gives you a good idea of the scale and really just how massive this application is. We have 100 plus global partners today. I can share with you that we've been contacted by over 2,000 partners in 2008. And it's been overwhelming. It's been way too much. And we're obviously looking towards having a new partnership program in 2009, a partnership program that is more focused on the Magento business, with partners that are more dedicated to us as a company, Varian, and to the community at large. So look for a new program in 2009. We're very happy to have such a wide interest in Magento today. We're here throughout the day, of course, so if anyone wants to come by and just say hello and talk about talk about the partnership program, I'm available. So, future. We've been asking ourselves over the past 6 months, past year, what does Magento look like a year from now? And what does Magento look like 5 years from now? And that's a very interesting topic because as open source projects are, you get a lot of opinions. I think if we ask 10 people, we'll probably have 20 opinions about what Magento should look like down the line. And that's something that concerns us because we learned that you have to be focused and you have to set a direction, you really have to stick to it. We really can't be pulled and shoved into areas that we don't think we could do a tremendous job in. And as we look forward, we keep on asking ourselves, is Magento an e-commerce platform, or is it more than that? And that's something that's a very big dilemma. Where are the lines drawn in terms of what an e-commerce platform is? And we've seen other competing products take a much grander approach, and they try to do a lot of everything. And we've seen products that are focused that do extremely well as well. And that's something that concerned us greatly. So again, what is Magento? Is Magento an e-commerce platform, or is it an ERP system? Is it going to have a CRM system in the future? And people have approached us and said, you know what, if you could do accounting, that would be just wonderful. Right? If you give me order fulfillment with the e-commerce platform, an all-in-one package, that would be just amazing. But the reality is that this doesn't end, right? An e-commerce platform is one part of a very long chain in an e-commerce and business process. So we see Magento as part of that process, as an application that fits in somewhere along the lines of business processes. But we're certainly not going to be doing ERP functionality, and we're not going to be doing CRM functionality, and we're not going to be doing order fulfillment functionality. and we're not going to be doing newsletter management, and we're not going to be doing any marketing, newsletter marketing type of functionality. So we're going to get better at saying that we won't do that. And we're going to continue to focus on our core, continue to focus on becoming the best e-commerce platform in the market, continue to push forward and work with our local communities, and really focus. And I think that's really the word that I want you to come out with here, and that Varian and the community is going to remain focused on building the leading e-commerce product in the world. It may take us a few more years to get there, but I think this focus is what's going to set us apart and give us some of the longevity and continue to really work well within the opportunities that we have. What we've also seen is that, and this has happened very quickly, much quicker than what we anticipated, but we're seeing that larger and larger enterprises are using Magento. And as larger and larger enterprises are using Magento, this obviously presents a very unique opportunity for us. And the enterprises, and we'll have a list in just a few minutes about this specific enterprises that are using Magento. Again, it's something that happened incredibly quick, incredibly fast, and something that we want to continue to be focused on. Magento is working its way upstream, right? Where before we started as an open source product, we still are an open source product, but we've catered initially to the mass market. I think what's happening today is that we're going upstream and upstream and upstream. And there's an example of this in every single market. Visions, which is going to have a talk. Alex will have a talk from Visions just after my talk. I think it's upstairs. Has just launched Jack Wolfskin. We have partners that are launching Fortune 500 brands across the world. And we'll see a slide with some names as well. So this is happening quickly. This is happening in a pace that is very exciting for us, and this is something that we're going to be focused on in the future as well. Before I get to that, there's another slide, but before I get to that, I want to talk about what I screwed up on, and that's the API. So we're not going to be doing a lot of things. We're not going to be doing, as I said, an ERP, a CRM, and really you can just kind of fill in the dots because we've been asked about every single product in the market almost. What we're going to be doing is really developing the industry's best API. And we're going to be pushing very aggressively on developing an API that can give access to almost everything that you're doing in the admin today. We want to do that very aggressively. We want to encourage extensions to be built on top of the platform. And that's going to be a big focus for us in 2009. Really, again, developing an API that is very, very, very strong. And you'll see that coming up in Magento 1.3, where we have some additional work coming up on that, and throughout 2009 as well. But we want to create the foundation so that consultancies, partners, integrators can build on top of Magento and integrate Magento to third-party applications in a way that's effective and really meets the business requirements. 2009 is also going to be the year of the performance. We're going to be coming out with a white paper in the next 6 weeks or so, benchmarking a lot of what we've seen internally. We're also going to be coming out with additional performance enhancements, including Magento 1.3, which is due in March. Nonetheless, we want to create a platform that certainly meets your performance objectives and one that is in the front lines in terms of performance. We've learned a lot in 2008. We want to execute a lot in 2009. We're religious about performance, and that's something that you'll see continued coming from us so that we can create the most efficient, the highest performing product on the market. So I mentioned Magento 1.3. We're coming out with a front-end flat catalog module. I won't get into the details, but this is a major performance enhancement that is actually in place already with one of our clients. And if you want some details about that, Yoav Kutner. Do you want to stand up for a second so they see who you are? Would love to talk to you about that. So.